Trump may not have been shot. Let's dig in. Welcome to Street Politics. My name is Reese Waters. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the page. Now here I am minding my own black business when I get hit with a swirl of Newsweek headlines. Y'all okay over there? Hey, let's look into what's happening over at Newsweek right now. I ain't never ever known Newsweek to move like this. I've never even seen Newsweek in a black household, but the headliner was this one. Trump may not have been shot. Let's dig in. FBI Director Christopher Wray said on Wednesday that it was not clear whether former President Donald Trump was shot or hit by shrapnel when a gunman opened fire at his rally in Butler, Pennsylvania earlier this month. The FBI is investigating the July 13th shooting, which killed one rally-goer and seriously injured two others before the gunman, 20-year-old Thomas Matthew Crooks, was shot dead by the Secret Service. Now, my first order of business is FBI, Newsweek, where y'all been? Where y'all been? Because the basic request for clarification and transparency has been completely rebuffed by the national media. In fact, y'all tried to drag Joy Reid when she asked the same questions.
We still don't know for sure whether Donald Trump was hit by a bullet, whether he was hit by glass fragments, whether he was hit by shrapnel. We don't have those details. We actually have no details from his physician, even though this man is still a Secret Service protected, and presidential candidate. We knew almost nothing.
I need to know where y'all been. So was the strategy, all right, we gonna let them go in and they gonna take all the incoming and then we just gonna come in afterwards with the exact same facts when everybody's tired. It continues, Trump was rushed off stage with a bloodied ear. He said that night that he was shot with a bullet that pierced the upper right part of my right ear. He said he heard a whizzing sound, shots, and immediately felt the bullet ripping through his skin. He said that in a post on his Truth Social platform. A week after the shooting, the Trump campaign released a doctor's note from Texas Rep. Ronny Jackson. Not Ronny Jackson. Not Ronny Jackson. Not this Ronny Jackson.
And before I introduce him, I just want to say, when he was the doctor at the White House, they asked him, who's healthier? Who's a better physical specimen? Is it Trump or is it Obama? And he said, it's not even close. It's Donald Trump, not even close. I said, I love this guy, Dr. Ronny Jackson. But anyway, now he talks. But they asked Doc Ronny, who's better, Barack Hussein, Obama? Remember Rush Limbaugh? He used to go, Barack Hussein, Obama. He would scream the word Hussein. I wonder why he was doing that. But he would scream the word. But I'd say, so who's in better health? They would actually ask, the media would ask, who's in better health, President Obama or President Trump? And he would say, President Trump, 100%. In fact, he said if he didn't eat so much junk food, he'd be around for 200 years.
I actually have posted about this already, about the gains of transparency, the benefits of transparency, the kind of scuttlebutt and suspicion that you can dead when you keep it all the way 100 and you let people in on the information. What part of transparency is giving me a doctor's note from Ronny Jackson, like you need to get Trump back into the daycare? Look, I am somebody that is a parent of a small child, and those that are parent of older children should know this even better than I do. Your children all have friends that you don't necessarily trust. You know what I mean? They all have friends where if that's their alibi, you know you need to dig into that a little bit further. That friend is Ronny Jackson. If there is anybody who you should not be giving us a doctor's note from in order to settle down suspicion, it's Ronny Jackson.
Dr. Ronny Jackson was demoted by the Navy because a Pentagon Inspector General report found that he had been taking sedatives while providing medical care to 2 U.S. presidents.
Ronny Jackson's nomination is threatened by a series of allegations, including abusive behavior towards staff, excessive drinking on the job, and improperly dispensing medications. If
I asked my son where he was last night and he told me he was out with Ronny Jackson, I don't care where he said they was at, he grounded. He grounded. No, because I know it wasn't nothing good. You was with Ronny Jackson. I know it wasn't nothing good. Let's keep going. The Trump campaign released a doctor's note from Ronny Jackson, who has served as Trump's White House physician, that said Trump sustained a gunshot wound to his right ear that was, quote, less than 1/4 of an inch from entering his head and struck the top of his right ear. Trump is doing well, and he is recovering as expected, Jackson said. But on Wednesday, Wray testified before the House Judiciary Committee that it's not certain yet if Trump's injury was caused by a bullet or shrapnel. California Rep. Kevin Kiley asked Wray, to the best of your understanding, how close did the assassin's bullet come to killing President Donald Trump? Wray replied that his understanding was that either a bullet or a piece of shrapnel is what grazed Trump's ear. Later in the hearing, Jim Jordan, oh, here we go. Has there ever been a story where Jim Jordan enters and it goes to a better place? I don't think it ever has. I really don't think it ever has. If Jim Jordan was in Aladdin, Jafar would have won. Later in the hearing, Jim Jordan, the committee chairman, asked Wray if all 8 bullets fired by the gunman had been accounted for. Quote, we obviously know that Mr. Comparator lost his life. 2 other rally-goers were injured, seriously injured, and then the one that hit President Trump. Does that account for whether some of these individuals hit multiple times? Where did all 8 bullets go is my question. Wray said he didn't have that information to hand, adding, as I said, I think with respect to President Trump, there's some question about whether or not a bullet or shrapnel that hit his ear. Jim Jordan tried it. He really did. He really tried it. The man already told you that he not gonna confirm that it was a bullet that hit the ear, and you just gonna slide it into the question.
Injured, and then the one that hit President Trump. Does that account for, were some of these individuals hit multiple times? Where did all 8 bullets go, is I guess my question.
I don't have that in front of me. I'm happy to circle back and get that to you. It's assuming we have that information yet. As I said, I think with respect to former President Trump, there's some question about whether or not it's a bullet or shrapnel that that hit his ear. So it's conceivable. Although, as I sit here right now, I don't know whether that bullet, in addition to causing the grazing, could have also landed somewhere else. But I believe we've accounted for all of the shots in the cartridges. So let us get that.
It's my understanding that the very first one was the one that hit the president. Is that the very first shot, or is that not accurate?
I don't, as I sit here right now, I don't know the answer to that. I believe we know the answer to that. I just don't have it in front of me.
Okay.
Hi, welcome home, dear. Now that we have established that it's okay for me to go on a golf trip with my buddies for the next 6 days while I won't be answering my phone, what should we do for dinner tonight? He really tried it. You just thought we wasn't going to notice that you slid that into the question, even though we have video footage of all of this? Quote, so it's conceivable as I sit here right now, I don't know whether that bullet, in addition to, causing the grazing, could have also landed somewhere else, but I believe we've accounted for all of the shots in the cartridges, end quote. The Trump campaign has been contacted for comment via email. The FBI was not involved in security for the rally and so has not received the same level of scrutiny as the Secret Service. Kimberly Cheadle resigned as the agency's director on Tuesday, a day after she was grilled by lawmakers about the assassination attempt. In an email to staff, she said she takes full responsibility for the security lapse that led to the shooting. Wray on Wednesday said the FBI would work tirelessly to get to the bottom of what happened. Then it said, it says update 11 a.m. The headline has changed. What y'all changed the headline to? Not changing the headline. Wow, Newsweek. You let them bully you, Newsweek? You let them bully you? Was this Don Jr.? Was this Don Jr. bullying you? That was silly, Newsweek. Don't let Don Jr. bully you. He need to make up his mind. He need to make up his mind who is the most embarrassing. Because one minute CNN is the most embarrassing, then it's MSNBC, and then it's Washington Post. Then the next week it's the New York Times, then it's the WB, then it's UPN, then it's Ebony, and then it's Jet. I mean, come on, he always calling somebody the most embarrassing when, let's be honest, we all know that UPN was the most embarrassing. Two takeaways from this that I find fascinating. In this investigation into what really happened at that rally on January 13th, it is the most ardent Trump supporters that are looking to push and verify that he was in fact shot, whereas the people that are the most resistant to Trump, that are the most suspicious. In other words, the people that most back Trump are the ones who basically want him to have been shot. I find that to be an odd place where we live, where the people most resistant to Trump, the people who most despise Trump, are the ones to not want him to have been shot. This is a crazy world that we live in 2024. So crazy, in fact, and this is my second point, that we have a man running for president that claims that he was shot. And the reaction of millions of Americans was, let's verify that. Yeah, let's look into that. I don't know. You know, I don't know. Well, Newsweek is keeping it all the way real this week. Let's see what the rest of the media is talking about. All right, CNN, I see you. Y'all trying to make up for Van Jones crying again. Here come the Wall Street Journal. 2 weeks. Those were 2 weeks apart. I wonder what changed. I wonder what changed in 2 weeks. Well, when I said the best choice, I meant the best choice from the outside. You know what I mean? The best choice thinking that she not actually gonna run. You know what I mean? When she actually run, then she not the best choice. You know what I mean? It's like saying, I feel like Pinot Grigio is the best choice for wine. I'm not a drinker, but if I was a drinker, it would be Pinot Grigio. But if I was a drinker, it would be something else. Apparently, this man was listening to Trump and thought he made some good points.
And by the way, Kamala will not be your first female president. She will not be your first female president. It's not the way it's supposed to be. We're not supposed to have a socialist. Look, we're not going to be a socialist nation. We're not going to have a socialist president, especially a female.
Especially a female? Especially a female. Woo, boy. That's going to leave a mark. That's going to leave a mark, especially with J.D. Vance.
We're effectively run in this country via the Democrats, via our corporate oligarchs, by a bunch of childless cat ladies who are miserable at their own lives and the choices that they've made, and so they want to make the rest of the country miserable too. And it's just a basic fact. You look at Kamala Harris, Pete Buttigieg, AOC, the entire future of the Democrats is controlled by people without children. And how does it make any sense that we've turned our country over to people who don't really have a direct stake in it?
Childless cat ladies. There is growing criticism online right now to those comments, including from actress Jennifer Aniston. April, if your problem in the last election was suburban women, is this what you want voters to be hearing right now?
Hell yeah. That's why I put out all these videos. By the way, I have an email list that I maintain, and I have a newsletter that I send out periodically as well. I would love for you to get on my email list. Feel free to shoot me a message at reese.waters@gmail.com. That's reese.waters@gmail.com. And the same goes if you have any suggestions for videos, if you have any nominees for Races of the Week, if you have something that you are troubled by, or you just want to throw me a kudos, feel free to email me. I don't always get a chance to look at all of the comments, but I definitely look at all of the emails and I respond.